Hey guys, EDDBUD here, back for another live stream. I think this is the 8th live stream, possibly. I think it is. Thanks for coming and joining in with us. I'm just going to adjust the volume there a little bit. If you are watching, please head over to the chat. It'd be great to see you. There's normally quite a few people in there chatting about all sorts of things related to the channel and related to the live stream. Today, certainly want to look at the Alphafly Next% release. It just seems to be a bit of a strange, botched kind of release. It came out very briefly over here in the UK. I think the members got the opportunity to get it perhaps the week before, something like that. And then the rest of the world, I don't know. It just seems really, really odd. If you've been trying to get hold of a pair, let me know in the comments. If you were successful, let me know. But very few of you have been by the sounds of it. Also want to look at the Adidas SL20. I've just picked that one up. I'm not going to give you it's not my initial review just yet. I've only been out for a quick 3 miles, but a quick 5k in this one just now. All I can say is one word: explosive. Really, really like this shoe. It's spectacularly light and really pops. Certainly if you're interested in that one, head over to Start Fitness. I think that's the name of the website. They've got them for £79 at the moment, and there is some sort of code you should be able to find that gets you another 10% off. So that makes it an incredibly attractive price, I think. It's a great looking shoe as well. It's a great looking shoe, Clark. Look at that one. And it has the cool sort of transparent yellow rubber there. I don't know if that's Continental rubber as well. You know it's good quality when you got Continental rubber. Oh yeah. So who we got in the chat? Stevie76 is always here. Stevie, I will certainly hook you up when the merchandise comes in. Charlie Gunn is from Bristol. How you doing, Charlie? Good to see you. The local lad from Bristol. It's only, what, 32 miles up the road, something like that. It's not far away. Chris McLean's here. How you doing, Chris? Space Manatee as well. And Sanj S is here. Evening all, how you doing, Sanj? Gonza J01. I did get them in the end, but from Pro Direct Running, 2-week delivery wait. Oh no, you mean you've got to wait 2 weeks, Gonza, to get them? Or these were crazy fast. I think I ordered these on Friday and they came this morning via the Royal Mail. You can always trust them to deliver the shoes for you on time. I'm very impressed with Start Fitness though. That's where I got my Saucony Endorphin Pros. And they were super fast in delivery. They dispatched them on a Friday and I got them on the Saturday, just after I had helped out Kev doing his 100-mile effort. So I kind of came home, had some coffee and some Weetabix or something, I can't remember what it was. And then there they were, they arrived. So Start Fitness. Those guys have got their finger on the pulse, I'm telling you. They're really, really producing the goods. And they're delivering the goods, I should say. I need some light refreshment. That 5k's taking it out of me. I only went to do a little 3 miles, just a little jaunt before Mrs. EDDBUD had cooked up some dinner. But I couldn't help myself. I just couldn't help myself in those SL20s today. SL2. They should have done a hookup with SL2. Does anyone remember that group? Sort of like a rave band on a ragger tip. That was a good tune. That was a good tune. Anyway, I digress. I need to get back to it. Oh, Joe Mullin. Thanks, buddy. With the super chat. Joe Mullin, big supporter of the channel for a long time. I appreciate that, Joe. Thanks, buddy. Andrea says, good evening. Everybody, nice to see the community gathering. Yeah, everybody's in the house. It's like some sort of rave tonight, like some sort of MC. Not sure what's going on. It's a Monday and I'm in exceptionally good mood today. It's one of those days where I've got a lot done today. I really wanted to get together a very, very comprehensive review of the Vaporfly the Vaporfly Next%, the Alphafly and the TC. I'm just coming up to 100 miles on that one now. And it's been a really good shoe for me, a really, really good shoe. I've enjoyed pretty much every mile I've run in that shoe. I don't know how many shoes I can say that about. But I wanted to put together a review, loads and loads of info, loads of observations against each of the shoes, and I think I managed to do it today. It took a while to put that one together. I hope you all enjoyed it. Lucas is here. How you doing? Rich K is in the house, and Paul Kane as well, evening from Chester. James Nash is here. Of course, Joe Mullin is always here. Thomas is here. Down the SL20 really pops. You beat me to saying it. It does, doesn't it? What a crazy colour. Sorry, I haven't. This one came without any paper or anything inside it, so. But it really does pop. What an immense colour. Now this is the summer ready version. I don't know what that means. I was expecting to open the box up and it was going to play me a medley of Beach Boys tunes, possibly. But I didn't get that. The shoes kind of fell out and I thought, what's going on here? There's not even any paper inside these. But they certainly do look nice. It's one of the nicest looking shoes, certainly, that I've got in a while. Maybe only matched by the Tailwind. I'll tell you what, these are a heavy shoe. If this is what the original Tailwind weighed back in '79, then people had some powerful legs, that's all I'm going to say. These are thigh busters, I'm telling you. They're seriously heavy. Seriously heavy. We'll get to those though in a minute. I want to talk about some historic running shoes if I can. How are we doing on the view? Look at that, 45, we're building up. This is good. This is good stuff. As my good friend Darren Kingham used to say. Gavin Braden is here. How you doing, Gavin? Good to see you. Thanks for dropping by to the chat. Gonza says, yes, you've got to wait 2 weeks. Oh, no. It's going to be one of those cases, Gonza, where you're ticking off the days on the wall until the day arrives when they press the doorbell and they'll appear. Even more the sweeter, though, when they turn up, when they finally get there. John Eaton says, good evening from Folkestone. Managed to catch a live one. Excellent. Thanks, John. Thanks for dropping in and joining in with the running shoe chat. That's what we're here for. We are keeping it real. Something like that. Chris McLean says, still waiting for the SL20 Prime Blue to be available. Yeah, I was going to go for that one, Chris, because I've got a code to use with Adidas this month because it's my birthday, because I'm, 19 again. But I wasn't able to use it on any of the SL20s. They're just being like misers on that one. That you've got to pay the full price, or unless you go to Start Fitness. I promise you, I don't have a sponsorship with Start Fitness. Head over there. They're £79 if you're in the UK at the moment, and there's a code you can get like 10% off. I'm not affiliated with Start Fitness in any way. They're like up in Newcastle somewhere, I think. But they're just selling them super cheap. It's a crazy price. Almost Reebok crazy. That's how crazy it is. James Copeland is here. How you doing, James? Evening, Ed. Hope you're well. He's in Buckinghamshire. I think I went to Buckinghamshire once. I watched Aylesbury play Yeovil. It was the Ducks, the Aylesbury Ducks. I remember they were called the Aylesbury Ducks. He's got the Beacon 3s. They've arrived today. The Beacon 3s. I'm hoping that on my next outing in the Beacon 3 that the collar doesn't destroy my ankle again. That was really quite painful. What I've done is I've actually put a peg on the outside of the shoe to try and pull the collar away a little bit and keep it away from my ankle. We'll see if it works. It's a bit of a crazy move, but we'll see. Other than that, I'm just going to have to wear longer socks with those, which is a bit of a shame because it's pretty humid out there. You guys in England know how humid it is at the moment, and that will not be a fun activity, wandering around with big socks on in this sort of heat, this dreadful heat that we've got right now. I need to catch up with some of these. Kev Burmaster's in the room. Oh yes. Fast run today. Yeah, I did like a really easy 3 this morning, Kev, to sort of wake myself up after I had my shreddies or whatever it was today. And I thought I'll get back out. I had loads of work to do today, so I thought I'll see how I feel later. And I put the SL20s on, and they possessed me. I was like a man possessed. There were some elderly people, and they was like, oh, as I was coming towards them, they had to sort of move out the way, and I was just trucking. I went, thank you guys, as I went by. I hope they didn't think I was some sort of rampaging hooligan listening to Link Ray or something, like listening to Rumble. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, what a great tune. I've been teaching my my daughter to play Rumble, actually, on her Strat. And she's getting pretty good now. It'll be good. One day we can get together on the stage. Well, she's only 10 yet, but one day we'll get together and we'll play Rumble. Maybe we'll do it live, who knows. New phone, who dis? Zar is in the house. Awesome, thanks for joining us, New phone dis. Paul Kane, anyone using the new Stride Pod with an Apple Watch? Thinking about getting a Stride Pod. Let me know your thoughts in the comments and stuff, guys, about those. I know Kev Burmas has been using one. Yeah, I certainly I need to expand out in terms of the watch. It's starting to get a little bit clunky now, this thing. It's the end of the Apple Watch 2. And it's been fine up to now. It's just starting to lose its battery life a little bit. I'm having to charge it like all the time, which is a common issue with those type of devices. Greg S says, the University of Florida colour. Go Gators. Is that the is that these? Is that right? The SL20s or the Tailwinds? I'll tell you what, Mr. Burmaster, I definitely couldn't have run as fast in the Tailwinds. It's just I bought that shoe because it was a crazy price and it's a little piece of history, you know. I wanted to have that bit of history there. Lucas says, I'm shouting from yesterday's progression long run. He's currently chilling on the sofa with a beer and the live stream. That sounds good, Lucas. That sounds like a good thing to do. Who we got? We got Bew. Is there? If Boris Johnson and Donald Trump had identical pairs of alphas, who would win a head-to-head max effort? Ooh, I think probably Boris would win. I think he'd probably win. I think he's just got the edge over Trump. I think Trump would beat him if he was in his RV though. Chris King says, hello, just got his Alphafly. Says, wish there was a race. Yeah, this is it, Chris. Maybe set yourself a time trial. Train up for it and then set yourself a time trial. Give yourself that target. It's all about having targets at the moment, guys. Whether it's a daily target, a weekly target. I've been setting myself a target of 50 plus miles every week. And then just sort of bubbling above and just above and then maybe a little bit higher each week. And that's really helped me. I think mentally it's really given me something to grab at in the distance. I think that's a really important thing. I really like how Seth is doing that as well with the Pikes Peak, because I think, am I right in saying that the marathon could still be on? And he's still training for that. I think that's awesome. It's giving him that real impetus to keep on going. Joe says the Adidas looks nice, but he's gone off the brand. Oh, why is that, Joe? Kev Burmas is mentioning that there is a... I've lost it. There's a Stride group on Facebook. Awesome. Charlie Gunn, is your hound a good running buddy or does he just hang out with the beast? Oliver's quite a small little guy. He's a pug terrier cross. So he can go at a reasonable pace if there's like a squirrel or like a pigeon or something like that. He can go at quite a reasonable speed. But I don't think I'd want to push him too hard at the moment. He's really struggling in the heat at the moment. He likes to kind of just sit around on his bed. And we take him for a bit of a walk when it cools down. So he's not too much of a running beast. Gavin Braden. Greg S. Yes, chomp chomp. I think I've missed something there. Oh, okay. He's a Gators fan. Awesome. Tony James is in the house. Joe Gavella says hello again. He watches more than I do TV. I think that's the same with me and TV at the moment. The only thing I've really watched on TV recently was the Last Dance. The Chicago Bulls documentary. That was really cool. Really, really good. Mr. Luke Acor is in the house. Luke, good to see you. Hope you're doing okay, buddy. Gonza's got their shoes sent to his parents so his wife doesn't find out. I like it, I like it. Who else we got here? Crookie 57's here. Evening. How, Ed, are the Meta Racer out on Friday? Yes, Crookie. The Meta Racer is apparently coming out on Friday. I'll be very interested to check that one out. I shall be there and see if we can get that one. I'm not sure where exactly it's coming out. I'm not sure if it's like a well, not a global release, but at least a countrywide release. Hopefully it is. Joe Mullin says you should have live chats with your patron supporters sometime. I think that's a good idea, Joe. I've been considering doing that, but my one worry about that at the moment is that I know that some people are really strapped for cash. I know that some people have been furloughed, they've lost their jobs. It's that one of those times where we're in a bit of a limbo. I think when things start to kind of chill out and things are a little more open and people are a little more stable, that might be a really cool idea to do. I think that's a fantastic idea, and certainly one that I'll look to implement in the future. Nathan N says, hi Ed, he's in Hawaii. Amazing. How are you doing, Nathan? Thanks for tuning in. Carl Wilkie's here from Newcastle. Looks like you're flying in the Adidas. I was. Mint photo of Beast. Yeah, Beast was... she seems to really like the SL20s. I had them on the floor and she was investigating them, and then she came over and... Beast, you know. She's real chilled out at the moment, actually. I'm glad you like the picture. Malta says, how many Hoka Oni shoes have I tried? I've only tried the two, actually. The Rincon and the Carbon X. I really want to try the Bondi. And there was another, the new Clifton. I'd like to try that. I'm not sure there's quite enough difference between the Carbon X and the new version, the SPE. I might pass on that one. It just looks like it might be a little heavier, and that was something that wasn't really a problem for me. The lockdown wasn't a problem in the Carbon X, it just felt a bit firm for me, so that's probably why I'll skip that one. Nathan says, I should make a club on Strava. I could do that. That might be quite a cool thing to do. I know Kafuzi's made one recently. I joined in that one. I do look at that one, look at Seth's one, and there's like a local one to me as well, the Oval Roadrunners. There's some crazy dudes in there at the moment. They're all doing this Land's End to John O'Groats challenge thing, so they're all running like crazy numbers of miles, but sort of lower pace miles. I think last week one of the guys almost got to like 100 miles for the week, and you know, I'd never have time to make some videos and hang out with you guys if I was just out there permanently running, although it sounds like a fun thing. Plant-based Ethos says, hey mate, got a message for the release of the Alphaflys. It's sold out already in a few hours. Yeah, it did seem to sell out really quickly. I know that quite a lot of you missed out on that and you got messages, but then it was already gone. Luke Acott says, hey from Stalbridge, he's up the road as well. Oh, thank you, Brendan. It's very kind, buddy, for the super chat. Fantastic work, very inspiring to see your growth. I really appreciate it. I know you've been watching for a long while. I really appreciate that super chat. Thank you. What we got? So, DJ Neil says that SL20 are definitely on a ragger tip. Cannot wait for the the Adi Zero Pro. Yeah, that's that shoe that just, does it actually exist? You know, are we ever going to get it? But the SL20, wow, yeah. I tell you what, as initial impressions go, I'm going to do a longer run tomorrow morning. I might go for maybe for a 10 tomorrow in that one and see how it feels. But I think it's going to be a good shoe. James Copeland said, Lucas to James Copeland says, how's the midsole on the version 3? Can you tell if it's Fresh Foam X or not? I'll tell you what, I've sent a message to to New Balance about this. I personally don't think it's Fresh Foam X. It does feel exactly like the Fresh Foam in the original Beacon. It does feel like that. I really don't think it's different. Whether they've just made a bit of a boo-boo on that one, I don't know. It does seem a bit odd. John Eaton says, when's the next time trial? Need an Adidas versus SL20. So I've got the Adidas 4. Now, how do the stack heights compare? They're quite a similar ride to the 4, actually. I think the sizing's a little better on the SL20. I just had perfect amount of room there, and it cinches really nicely across the top of the foot. Chris McLean, he held off on the beacons. He's saving for the Meta Racer. Cool, yeah, that should be here soon. LOL Monster 87 loves the stride. On the second one, the previous version, now the newest wind one. Yeah, that's a feature that really interests me, is that whole wind sort of input sensor. That's really cool. I love stuff like that. Mr. Burmaster, you need to get yourself a pair of the Tailwinds and try them out. Joe Gravel, I'll do an SL20 initial review tomorrow, so possibly towards the tail end of tomorrow. Mr. Random, hello Ed, what size did you get the SL20s? I went up a half size. Now, on the Adidas website, it does say to go a full size, bizarrely, but a half size seemed absolutely perfect for me, so I went for an 11.5. Thomas loves his stride as well. He's in hilly areas, so it helps me keep pace. Ah, yeah, that's really interesting. I'm in quite a hilly area here, Thomas, as well, so that's really useful bit of insight for me. Thank you for posting that. Joe Gravel says, I did, then got a street fracture in his hip. Oh dear, that's not good. Let's hope that does not come back. Andre says, it'd be nice if you could make a video how you approach the choice of a new running watch. I think it's going to be a lot of research on that one. I'm probably going to be asking a few people about that, what they recommend. I kind of like things that are nice and simple, so once it's running, if I need to pause at some point, there's quite a few road crossings I've got to make out of here, and just something that I can't foul up, because when you're running, certainly when you're doing a long run, you start losing it a little bit, and it can be very easy to make a mistake, and the last thing you want to do is lose your run for it not recording. Joe says he thinks it is a bit firm, narrow and heavy. Okay. I certainly found the Adidas 4 and the SL20 really light. They're crazy light. I think the SL20 was about 257 grams for my size, which is pretty light really. The Ultra Boost 20 though, that's just a brick. A total brick. Brendan says, same with the Beagle. Yeah, little heart can't take it. Yeah, that's the same with Ollie. Luke says, hi Ed, just keep on running, set yourself a bigger target. I hope you're still out there running every morning, Luke. Make sure you get out there and do those miles, buddy. It's an important thing. It will keep your mind going. It's a good thing. Gavin Braden, are you going to register for the Believe in the Run Grit Challenge? I did see something about that Grit Challenge thing. I need to figure out what it is. I occasionally tune in for Believe in the Run and some of their videos, so I'll go and have a look at that later on. Joel Scragg says, just seen you picked up the SL20. I hope they're treating you well. They are. Yeah, I followed Seth James DeMore for a long while back. I remember the washing machine repair video. that's going back some. Carl Wilkes says, Ed, do you have any virtual races coming up, or is it just general training? I wouldn't mind doing a virtual race soon, actually. I've been doing loads of training and I feel like I'm really at a good point right now, so it'd be quite nice to do a virtual race and get some sort of medal or medallion or something. That's what you should have, medallions. That would be cool. Big gold medallions. Long Monster 87, thank you very much for the super chat. He's even put a picture of Beast in there. That is cool. That is very like Beast, actually, quite rotund. The Beast is a rotund creature, that is for sure. Thank you for the super chat, Long Monster 87. Andreas says, waiting on Dolphin Pros to come on Wednesday. Awesome, new shoe day incoming on the Wednesday for Andres. Or Andres. Going to compare them to his Vaporfly, see if they're worth to pick up the Alphaflys. Also, I think you all like them. The Endorphin Pro are a very, very special shoe. Very special. Paul Formosa says, does the Alphafly fit tight? No. In fact, it is the opposite of that. The Alphafly I found when I measured them up in my video today, they're actually about the same equivalent length when I measured them to an 11.5. So this is in a size 11 shoe, yet it's lengthwise measuring up similar to what a Nike would be in an 11.5. It's about 5 mil extra at the end here. Is it 5 mil? No. What was it? 29.5 centimeters. When a normal size 11 is 29. So they're a little bit longer. Joe Mullen, desperately waiting for stock to arrive at the UK 10, the Infinity Run. Oh, I'm surprised you can't find any of those. I'm really surprised at that. Simon Partridge, plenty of room in the Alphaflys. Yes, good call, Simon. They're a squeeze to get on. I'd recommend a shoehorn if you can. They'll look really odd. Can you imagine that, getting to a start line? You know, you're getting ready, warming up, and you get your shoehorn out, and you're putting your shoes on, you're putting your Alphaflys on. Well, that's going to draw quite a lot of attention to yourself, I think. Just watched a Big Slipper video, Daniel McCohen, cracking stuff. Yeah, I tell you what, I've got to be honest, these shoes are incredible recovery shoes. I am loving walking around in these at the moment, around the house, doing some jobs, doing some dog walking in these. They are fantastic. Super squishy. They kind of feel a bit like a Hoka underfoot, but then you've got a really nice, snug and comfortable upper. I'm really enjoying them, I've got to be honest. Really appreciate Deckers Lab sending those over to me for me to test out. Chris King says, go for the Garmin Phoenix 6. It's awesome but pricey. I think I'll go for something pretty considerable if I get one. Something really, really top notch. Mr. Random says, who remembers the Nike Air Zoom more? Maybe that's where New Balance got the Fresh Foam more from. Let's get Fresh Foam and like double it, and what have we got? Fresh Foam more. Bew says, I agree, we've got the Garmin Phoenix 6. Cool. Have to charge every 2 weeks. Now that is what I'm talking about. Only having to charge every 2 weeks, that'll be something. I'm having to charge this bad boy every day right now because it's running out of juice. Although it's because there's lots more notifications and stuff going on all the time, so maybe that's like zapping the battery a little bit more, a little bit faster. James Nash just ordered his Phoenix 6, which I think it might be a bit OTT. Nah, James, use all those features, use all the stuff, figure it all out. I'm sure there's some really great stuff on there. When you get it, just dig in and figure it out. Joel Scragg thoroughly recommends Garmin offerings for watches. Good tip is to get one which you can create workouts. That's the thing I really like with the iSmooth Run app. I can program in a workout, specific distances, specific paces. It barks at me when I'm not going fast enough. It barks at me when I'm going too fast. I kind of like those things, and I can integrate it with my Powerbeats Pro as well, so I can have some tunes on. And Kev Bellmaster knows I like my tunes. They've got to be just right. I think for me at the moment, best possible tunes for pace is still Fontaine's DC. When those guys are really going, some with the drums, with the guitars. Yeah, that really, really makes it happen. I can get some good paces going there. Kev Burmaster, he has the Phoenix 6 X Pro. Only downside is Bluetooth amp pairing and subsequent battery drain. Ah, okay. So, are we saying, Kev, if you power it up with something like the Polar OH1 Plus, it does seem to drain the battery faster? Okay, maybe that's what's going on with this. I assumed it was going to relieve some of the strain on the watch. Maybe it's actually adding some. Joe Mullin, best running related videos, documentaries. My favourite, Spirit of the Marathon 1 and 2. I've watched it about 3 times now. I can't remember the exact name of it, Joe. It's the one where Jim Wormsley's gets lost during that run, and he goes miles out of the way, and he kind of just completely loses it, and some people pick him up, and then he's just miles behind. I think he was like under the course record time by some huge margin, and he just loses all that time, and it just completely decimates him. It's really, really, really sad. That's definitely a really good one to watch. What else have I watched recently? The Wild Ginger Runner. She does some really cool documentaries as well, where she went over, I think it was to the Isle of Man? Or the Isle of Wight? I can't remember now. She does some fantastic documentaries too. She's really worth checking out. I need to get a hold of her actually, see if I can do some sort of collab. It'd be really cool to do something with her as another UK YouTuber. Or a shoe tuber, I should say. So a bit of a chat about the Phoenix in there. Paul Formosa says, should I get the Alphafly same size I get Pegasus UK 9? I would say yes. I would say go true to size. I wouldn't go up a half a size at all or anything like that. For me, Paul, I'm right at the tail end of like a UK size 11. I'm right on the verge. In fact, some Nike shoes I do choose to go up half a size. With the Alphafly, it's perfect for me. So I think that if you want something that's just a little bit more of a race fit, I think going true to size is probably the best idea in this instance. Let's have a little swig of my drink here. What we got? Mr. Random says the Brooks Hyperion Tempo. It's hard to find a UK 11. That shoe just seems to be really difficult to get a hold of. When I ordered mine, they took about 2 weeks to turn up. And they just sort of arrived out of the blue. But it's a shoe I've enjoyed. I think about 53 miles on that one. Do a few more maybe this week. But I want to focus on the Alphafly and the Saucony Endorphin Pro a little bit this week. Some faster stuff. So just ratcheting the gears up a little bit this week rather than slower miles from last week and the week before. Kev Burma says Fontaine's DC. How is Kev Burton doing after his 100-mile effort? I'm going to get Kev to do like a Zoom chat with me and record it, because the whole thing, I think we need to go through it from start, middle to finish. It was just such a massive effort. He was just going for so many hours, and just to keep going. Like when I joined up with him at about 6 o'clock on the Saturday morning, he'd been running for like 13 hours. He'd been going for like 13-14 hours, and he had a really bad blister on his foot, on his right foot, and he was starting to consider giving up at that point. And what had he done by then? I think he'd done about. He was coming up to. Was he coming up to 100k? Yeah, he was mentally. He was like, I'm going to get to 100k, then I'm going to stop. And I said, well, look, see how you feel. You know, let's see if we can bandage you up, get you going again. And he wanted to go, but he needed to keep the paces, like they were refreshing him. So every time someone else came in, it would refresh him a little bit. And he just kept going. It was just nuts. I think he's got out and done a little bit here and there, but he had some really bad blisters, Kev. It was some serious blisters there. And that was like 100 miles he smashed out in the Kev percents as well. The Flyknit next percents that he's got. It's like serious stuff. Oh, yeah, at one point he tried to put on a newer pair of Pegasus 35 turbos that he had. Like literally, I think they'd done like just a few miles. And he put them on. He's like, I can't wear these shoes. They're like, I've got to put the Kev percents back on. I think his foot had like become one with the shoe. Found on 49, Jim Wormsley, that's the one, Found on 49. I might watch that again tomorrow. It's just so nuts. That guy is really an idol to me. He really is. Incredible dude. It's just kind of almost like a sort of rock and roll surf guy, but he's got something else there mentally that I think we can all learn from, you know. Certainly I know he's faced depression, looked it right in the face and managed to get through that. It's something pretty special that guy's got. Andre, thank you for the super chat, buddy. It's much appreciated. Does help to support the channel an awful lot. Joey says those SL20s are super cool. You need to pair ASAP. Joe, if you're in the UK, Start Fitness. That's where you need to go. I bow to no sponsor. I think Andre, in the end, he ran for like 29 hours? Yeah, it was 29 hours total. He didn't stop the thing, he just left it rolling. There were times when he had to stop and refuel and change his clothes and do all the sorts of things you would do on a 100-mile effort. It was bonkers, but the guy is made of absolute titanium. Just what an effort. Yes, I'm Partridge says go for the same size, would not go up. I think that is a very, very wise move. Guys, if you are in the chat and you haven't done so already, please hit that like button for the video. It really does help to promote the channel and get it out there to more runners. Simon Partridge says weak lemon drink. It is a special brand of weak lemon drink, which is why I'm sort of being very careful to not divulge what it is. Oh, it's really warm in the studio. It's the lights, I think. Maybe I shall invest in some LED lights for a little bit cooler. Certainly on these very hot nights. James Nash, the Running Channel's Tribe Island Challenge is a good watch. I'll have to check that out, James. Thank you for letting us know about that one. Joe Mullin says, are you a fan of using endurance supplements, carb drinks, gels? At the moment, Joe, only because they're really easy to get hold of for me. I've been using the Science in Sport stuff. There's a rehydration, they're sort of like effervescent tablets that you can get. You just dunk them in a pint of water and they say 1 for every hour of effort that you've done. So they're really easy to get hold of from the store just down the road. And they sell gels as well, which is awesome. They've often got them on special. So I use those. If I'm racing, I've tried out all sorts of things really, whatever's going. Some events I've raced and run at, they've had stuff available. I don't really get too many gastric kind of problems. I seem to be able to just utilise whatever really. The only thing that has caused me a couple of issues at one point was the Morton gel, but with the caffeine. That one, as you know, my heart rate's pretty low actually for the efforts that I'm running at. I think it's a build-up of standing up for a long time doing musical performances and singing and controlling my breathing all the time. I think that's helped a lot. But that gel played havoc with my heart. I burnt too much power early on. So if I was going to avoid a gel, it would be the Morton one with the caffeine. That didn't quite work for me. Paul Formosa says thanks all for the support, really appreciate it. No worries, Paul, that's what we're here for. Nice running community. Looking forward to get back to the front lines of, yeah, I think we're all looking forward to that, Paul. I'm not sure when that will be, but we've just got to keep focused on when that is, keep training, keep it right up there so we're ready. I'll tell you, it's going to be some fit people when the lockdown is officially over and we can start to do some of those races again. We can meet up with our training buddies and everything. There's going to be some fit people. Some of the Yeovil runners around here that have been doing, you know, upwards of 60 to 100 miles in a week. I mean, those guys are going to be right up there. So that's why I'm kind of pulling my mileage up just a little bit, so I can improve that endurance, really. Cal Runs Boulder. Hi Cal, often in the comments there. Thanks for dropping in to the chat. I really appreciate that. Hope you're doing all right. Interested in the Phoenix 6. Wait and see what Apple does. Yeah, this is it. I use the Apple phone, the iPhone, Cal. So it's kind of nice to have that integration with the watch. So if I move away from that, I'm not sure. Will I miss it? I think I probably will, actually. There's a lot of things I do with my watch. You know, chatting to my daughter because she lives away, keeping in contact with my folks and all that sort of thing, that I actually use my watch quite a lot. So the integration between watch and phone is quite important for me. Joey Luckley, I think the shipping over the pond may be more than the shoes. Which shoes is that, Joey? Oh, I see, from Start Fitness. Yeah, it could well be more. Let's hope there's a good deal that crops up for you in your country for the SL20s. Daniel Owen McGee says, Jim Walmsley, big fan. Yes, what happened to him in the American Marathon trials? Yeah, I see Jim Walmsley pops up on Strava. You can like follow him, and the guy smashes out some incredible runs, you know, lots of elevation as well. But I was quite surprised that he didn't make it anywhere near, actually. I think, was he in the top 20 maybe? It didn't quite happen for him that day. And I thought he would be there. I think, though, that guy could toast anybody on those longer runs, so on the 50 mile maybe or something like that. I think he would be the master. Joe says he's more of a trail runner, so road's a different game. Yeah, I think you're right there. Jim Walmsley just seems to have that extra edge when he's out there in the countryside, surrounded by the squirrels and the eagles and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I think he'd certainly qualified. Yeah, as Bew says, with a strong half marathon in Houston. I think he'll get there. He's got the tenacity, and he's got that steel that a lot of people just haven't got. That guy's got a little extra. Steve Ward back in the house. Keep up the EDDBUD uniqueness. The channel keeps on giving. Oh yeah, it's a bit like the end, Stephen, of Scrooged. You know, where Bill Murray does that long kind of speech. And I always think that the more you kind of put in, the more you sort of want, and the more you get back, the more you want it. It's this big kind of domino effect. I think that's what it's like. A big domino effect. Kev Burmaster is having a chat with Stephen Ward. All modern Garmin watches can be paired with any phone to do all the usual... Oh, cool. Okay. I'll have to check that out, Joe. I'm not entirely sure, in fairness, Joe, that if I got one of those watches that Miss EDDBUD would be very pleased with me. But it's alright, because I'll just tell her that you said it was alright for me to get one. Malte Christensen says, what is your current favourite shoe? By the way, awesome reviews. Thank you, I appreciate it. My current favourite shoe. Oh man. What is my current favourite shoe? Can I even access it from here without causing an avalanche? Alright, my current favourite shoe, the one that I really want to put on, if I could put it on right now and go running, I'm not going to do that because it's late now and it's beyond that. It would be the Saucony Endorphin Pro. That shoe is just beautiful. Any pace. You can just start off a nice gentle pace, a warm-up pace, no problem. You can sort of move into a tempo pace. For me, that's about 7:30, 7 minutes 20 per mile, no problem. You could go all out in that shoe, no problem. That shoe for me, you could just run for miles. It just feels so beautiful. It's just, there's no real gimmick about it either. It just feels like a great shoe. It really is my favourite. It's one I just picked up, put on my feet and thought, wow, God, this is This is everything that I really want in a longer range racing shoe. So I think you probably saw my review was right up there for that shoe. I really did enjoy that one immensely. It's certainly up there. I'm really enjoying it. So the Saucony Endorphin Pro. I didn't have an expectation for it. That's the difference. Whenever I go and play a gig, if you have a big expectation of a musical performance, it always lets you down. You're always like, that was all right. You know, that was a 7 out of 10. That was a 7.5 out of 10. And before you got there, you thought, oh wow, this is going to be really great. This gig is going to be really big. It's going to be loads of people there. The sound's going to be spot on. New strings on the guitar. Everything's perfect, and then it doesn't happen. So when I got the Saucony Endorphin Pro, I tried not to have that expectation. And I just said to myself, let's see how it goes. Let's see how this one plays out. And within a couple of miles, I knew it was the one. I knew it was the one. Nick Gaines says, sorry, I'm a bit late. It's okay. We're glad to have you here, Nick Gaines. Kev Bauermas says, good to see you in the live chat. I think that was to Stephen before. Joe Luckley, Jim has the mental fortitude. That is a good word. And drive to win against anyone. But some other guys just have so much road efficiency. Yeah, I think that he could get that though. I think that Walmsley could get that. He's got something else mentally. I think he could still pick that. If he would toast them on trail, no problem. Anybody. If there was a mix of trail and road as well, he's going to come out on top. Dirk says, hi Ed, thanks for the great content. No worries, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it, right from the heart. In South Africa, we order Nike straight from the States. Okay. So it works amazingly well. Nike Infinity Run is amazing. Yeah, I've seen a couple of people recently. I've had some problems with the Infinity Run. It's just been like the midsole, not the midsole, the insole crumbled away a little bit and kind of fell apart. And I just can't see it with mine. Mine's just still super strong. It's just another great shoe. I really enjoyed that shoe. Frank says, does Rock and Roll High School actually stand up as a movie, or is it like a big music video thing? It's got a very loose story, and the Ramones appear in it, and it's kind of funny. It's kind of like a comedy, really. There is a really great intro though, where this young lady she attaches her record player to all of the speakers across the whole high school, and then they play Ramones tracks, and she gets in big trouble. It's a fun film, and I love the Ramones. I once did a sort of stars in their eyes performance with my group. It was like a super group really, of loads of good musician buddies around here, and we did the Ramones, and I was Joey. That was cool. We all had the jackets, and I even had like a wig, because I just haven't got Joey hair. I never have done. And the glasses, and I even had the Gabba Gabba Hey sign as well. That was great. Big PA system. Everything we got off to a T, just so we were just like the Ramones. Good times. Kev Burmaster says, when is your birthday? Kev, it's just been literally the 3rd of June, so I'm now 19. No, I'm not really 19 at all. I'm 41 now, I think. Is that right? 41. Yeah, 41. Started to forget after a while. Kind of every year, it kind of seems the same. I think I'm going backwards, in fact. I'm walking around wearing Jordan 5s and LeBron 17s, Maybe I'm having a midlife crisis. Who knows? I'm having fun having a midlife crisis, so I haven't bought like a Triumph motorcycle or anything yet. That'd be cool to have one of those. That'd be really cool. That would be cool. I'll stick with my Nissan though for the time being. It's alright. What we got here, we got lots. We got 10 minutes. I know Kafuzi's doing a live stream today, isn't he? I think so. I don't want to step on his toes and move into his time. The maestro. I mustn't move into his time. James Minshaw says, will be interesting to see how Wormsy gets on the Comrades when he runs it, hopefully next year. Yeah, there was a local runner here, James, that was going to do Comrades, and they were a bit gutted. It's not happening this time round. Oh, Mr. Burmaster, that is amazingly kind of you. Thank you for this with the super chat and a happy birthday. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. That is awesome. Thanks, buddy. James Minshaw, we've done that one. Malte says Saucony Endorphin Pro also looks like an awesome shoe, but difficult to get hands on. Yeah, they released it here. I don't know whether it's out everywhere else around Europe, but certainly in the UK it was there. You had to pre-order. I think there was a couple of week lead time to get it, but oh, it's such a nice shoe. So Steve Ward says, alright Kev, hope you're well, good to see Ed's turning into a running millionaire. I don't know, I've got close to 1 million shoes. I think it's a lot of shoes here. There's a hell of a lot of shoes here, which I think was why the mileage is going up, because I'm wanting to try and get out there more in the shoes and test them out. Cal Runs Boulder says, good point on not having expectations. I think it's better strategy with exciting shoe releases. Yes, it certainly is. Always keeping yourself sort of on the ground and seeing what happens. I mean, for example, I was not expecting what I got today from the SL20. I could have quite easily gone on a run further, but I know Mrs. EDDBUD was getting the dinner ready, so I had to get back in time. Didn't want to let her down. Martin says, hi birdies from Brisbane, Australia. Loving the channel. Awesome. Martin, what time is it over there at the moment? Because I know, are you guys ahead of us here in the UK? B says, what about Jim Wormsy versus Killian Jornet? That would be a matchup, certainly. Yeah, certainly glad that the channel's taking flight. It's down to you guys though, Mr. Burmaster and the rest of the crew, for promoting the channel, certainly sharing, getting it out there to new runners. I do appreciate that so much. It really has moved forward a lot. And I really feel as if perhaps I'm as absolutely genuine and what I am in front of the camera as I just normally am in real life. I try to be who I am. I don't think you should ever try to be something you're not. So just being who I am and being honest, you know, that's what it's all about. Andre says, don't forget to hit the like button. Certainly do that, please, guys. It really does help out the channel. Before I forget, I wanted to talk a little bit more about these if I can. So, UK size 11. These weigh about 370 grams. I would love to know if the original Tailwind was this heavy back in 79. Well, I think they released one in 78. But I'd love to know if it was actually the same weight. I did ask Nike whether this does have an air unit in, and they said yes, it does. So I was quite amazed with that. But it's certainly an interesting looking shoe. I'm not sure anyone would try and rock it for a race. Perhaps you know someone that does. Perhaps you know someone that has actually worn this shoe to race in recently. But I love in the retro looks, the retro styling. Just think about this as well. This piece in the heel here. I do remember seeing a prototype of the 4%. When it came out, they released a load of pictures of prototypes. And they did think about cutting off the back of the shoe. So I'm wondering whether that was a nod to the Tailwind here. But it's got a crazy outsole. It's just like, it's just so sort of tough, you know. Reminds me a little bit of which shoe was it I tried the other day, one of the trail shoes. It's more like a trail shoe outsole really, the Kiger 5. But certainly an interesting one, a piece of history. And I love the old school Nike logo. That is just really awesome. I couldn't resist for a super bargain price of picking that one up. Tim Gross says, just finished his run. I'm still here. Still here, Tim. Nova Blast plod today after Alphafly hard trout yesterday. I was sad you weren't enjoying the Alphaflies, Tim. That you were finding they were just too big. Mine are just spot on. Chef kiss stuff. With any sock as well. It's always good when any sock works. The SL20s, I am loving them, Tim. They are explosive. Be my initial review tomorrow of those. I don't know what's different about these. This is the summer ready version. If anybody knows what the difference is between the normal SL20 and the summer ready one, let me know, because I'm not sure. There's no information out there as to what the difference is. Frank Lahulier's got 150 mile run in the SL20s. They seem really stiff. Okay, Frank, I'm loving it. They're just spot on in terms of my cadence. I just was able to really pick the cadence up without even trying today. Joe Mullins says, start training for comrades and come running next year. Oh, I don't think I'm there yet, Joe. Maybe in the future. Maybe in the future. Malcolm says, wishing you and everyone the best from New Zealand, where you've just had lockdown restrictions removed. I did watch that wonderful video earlier on today with your I believe is he Prime Minister or the President? Prime Minister, I believe, saying that the lockdown was to be lifted fully, and that is fantastic news for you guys over there. I'm so pleased for you. It really is fantastic. So yeah, enjoy being able to get out there and do whatever. It's fantastic. Well, just check a couple of these. So Martin says 6 AM in Australia. Wow. Okay. Have a great day, Martin. I'm going to draw this one to a close now, guys. Thanks all of you for heading into the chat. I do really appreciate all your support as well. Thank you for watching the videos. Thanks for watching the channel. Lots more coming up this week. Endorphin Pro versus the Alphafly. We've got the initial review for the SL20, and of course the running news as well on Wednesday, so do watch out for that. If you've got any good running news, please let me know. EDDBUDShoeTube@gmail.com. If there's any good running news out there, hook me up, let me know. Thanks all of you for tuning in. I shall see you very soon. I'm going to exit over this way today. Take care, and I'll be seeing you.